Tonight on Elon Local News.
Elon has a new president. We have faculty and student reactions.
We also have an in-depth interview with President-elect.
All that and more.
Elon Local News starts right now.
Live in Brian Williams' studio at Elon University School of Communications. You're watching Elon Local News.
Hello, and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Emily Harrison.
And I'm Perry Elliott Durrani. A new chapter in Elon's history, Connie Ladeau Book, is going to be Elon's 9th president.
Dr. Book will become the first female president of Elon University. Book is currently the provost of the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina, where she has been since 2015. Before the Citadel, Book was at Elon. She served as a faculty member as well as an administrative leader. ENN spoke with Book today about how it felt to be back at Elon in this new role.
I'm thrilled and excited about the new opportunity, and but I also understand the responsibility. So I'm thinking a lot today about the responsibility of being Elon's 9th president, and how excited I am to come into a community that values learning, and to be able to foster learning here and think about what's next on the horizon for Elon. So all of those thoughts are running through my mind. I do have a sense of coming home. It's so nice to see familiar faces, but I'm meeting a lot of new people too, that so I'm getting to learn anew about the new community members and what their hopes and aspirations are for the university. I jokingly made, in my provost acceptance remarks at the Citadel, I jokingly opened it up with, when I was a little girl and I dreamed of being a provost, because nobody dreams of that, and I don't think anybody actually dreams of being a college president. But you find yourself in situations where opportunities open themselves up and you realize, oh, I have the skill set necessary to do this, and fundamentally I have an itch to lead. My dad passed away a few years ago, and today I was thinking he'd be proud today.
We'll have more of our conversation with Book throughout the show.
Book made her first appearance since the presidential selection today in Alumni Gym. Book spoke about the power of working together as a university in order to continue to improve life here at Elon.
Together, we will advance Elon's future. Together, we will continue building the best learning environment in the country. Together, we will set the next horizon for Elon's destiny.
While Book hasn't been on campus for the past few years, she started her time at Elon in 1999. Our Liam Collins took a look at Book's relationship with Elon and her career over the past 18 years.
Constance Ladeau Book is beginning her new position as Elon University president, coming off a 16-year run with the university. Here's a timeline of Book's career with Elon. In 1999, Book began at Elon as an assistant professor of communications after earning a bachelor's degree in journalism from Louisiana State University and a PhD in telecommunications from the University of Georgia. This was the same year current university president Leo Lambert succeeded former president Fred Young. In 2004, Book was promoted to associate professor and department chair of the School of Communications, and 2 years later she was named the new associate dean of communications under current dean of communications Paul Parsons. In 2010, she was promoted to Associate Provost for Academic Affairs and led the creation of the Student Professional Development Center and the current residential campus plan. 5 years later, she accepted a position as the first female provost at the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. On February 13th, University President Leo Lambert announced he will step down, beginning the Elon presidential search. And yesterday, October 8th, 2017, Connie Book was elected as Elon's 9th president to take over for President Lambert on March 1st, 2018. She'll be the first woman to hold the title. Liam Collins, Elon Local News.
Some members of the Elon community know Book from her time spent at Elon before leaving for her position at the Citadel. When Book was at Elon, she served as the Associate Dean of Communications beginning in 2006. Professor Don Grady, who now holds that position, has worked with Book in the past and feels confident in her ability to be a leader for the university.
Well, certainly she's extremely smart. She's energetic. She's very authoritative in her approach to things. She gains the respect, I think, of faculty and students and external constituents, and so I think she'll be a very good representative for the university.
For the latest information on Elon's new president-elect, be sure to visit elonnewsnetwork.com.
In other news on campus, Family Weekend brought plenty of reunions, but for parents of kids living in Smith Residence Hall, the weekend also brought headaches. Our Jackie Pascal has reactions from parents of some Smith residents.
Family Weekend is usually filled with parents revisiting dorm rooms they left behind on move-in day and seeing how their students have adjusted to life at Elon.
It's disappointing as a parent coming down for the weekend when you hope to be able to see the room and celebrate that and take them shopping to decorate. All that stuff is disappointing.
Judy Pepe missed out on this experience. Her son has been relocated while his room on the first floor of Smith is being dried out. To prevent mold growth, the machine is working to heat and dry the hall. Her son is roommates with Mark George's son.
We're concerned as parents because our kids are really struggling right now.
Pepe and George say their sons are lacking sleep and are out of their routine while crashing at friends' places in historic neighborhood. The repairs are taking longer than expected, adding up to almost a week out of their rooms.
They were offered the option of Danley. I understand that. My son opted not. I'm going to have a discussion with him about rethinking that. He does have 8 o'clock classes every morning, and he chose to be closer to the center of classes.
What used to be a 1-minute walk to class is now a 15 to 20-minute walk into campus.
We got moved out, like we're in Danley now for the time being, and just kind of sucks that we're going to end up paying for like our room flooding.
Freshman Jake Groves has the same concerns as parents of Smith residents who met with Vice President of Student Life John Dooley Saturday morning. Dooley tells ENN he's hoping they'll find the person or persons responsible for the vandalism. George says it'll take the community to find the culprit.
The reality is that person or those few people, whoever are responsible, are criminals, and really they shouldn't be part of the community.
While they don't have an exact cost of the damages, Dooley says it's in the tens of thousands. He also says the students should be able to return to their dorms sometime this week. Jackie Pascal, Elon Local News.
The university is asking for parents and students' help in finding who is responsible for the Smith vandalism. To report any information you may have, call Campus Safety and Police and ask to speak to the investigators. Their number is 336-278-5555. You can also use the university's student conduct reporting form to share that information or use the Live Safe app. All of these options can be done anonymously.
Tomorrow is the primary election for the mayor of the city of Burlington. Grace Morris talked to all 3 candidates to find out how they feel about some of the bigger issues that affect the area.
Sheila Fawcett, the city councilor, Craig Deaton, the local business owner, and Ian Baltudis, the incumbent. These are the 3 men who are running for mayor of Burlington. While 2 of the candidates were able to be reached in person, Sheila Fawcett was only available over the phone. And here are the thoughts of the candidates on some key issues facing the city. According to the Allied Churches of Alamance County's website, 70 people stay in their shelters every night. Homelessness and access to transportation are 2 major issues of infrastructure in the Burlington community. Each candidate has strong opinions on how to tackle this issue.
All of these apartments being built and the greenways, parkways, and things, I think that it's digging a hole that Burlington cannot come out of.
When we talk about housing, we also have to talk about affordable housing and making sure that citizens continue to have access to affordable, quality housing. And I emphasize quality.
We have an issue with housing here in the community. Our infrastructure is something that we have to look at. You can't get anybody to come to Burlington if you don't have the infrastructure to do what we need to do.
After celebrating the 3rd year of Alamance Pride this past weekend, awareness and acceptance of the LGBTQIA community bring out different opinions from the mayoral candidates.
I don't have a problem with, just like I said, you have to treat your fellow man. If you have love in your heart, you treat your fellow man the same way, no matter what they are.
They need to be protected. Okay. They need to be respected for what they think. It is wrong by the Bible. It's not in God's word, but that doesn't matter.
There's a lot that our city council can do to really set the tone for the city. And it doesn't have to be specific ordinances, as much as it's really saying Burlington needs diversity. That's a strength of the community.
Polls open at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow and close at 7:30 p.m. Results are expected to be announced by 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Grace Morris, Elon Local News.
We'll be sure to keep you updated on the results of the primary on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com.
Coming up, Thinking Pink. We found one local group dancing for awareness.
And the sun is out right now, but will that continue into this week? All of your Phoenix 5-day forecast coming up.
In our interview earlier, Book talked about the importance of higher education, saying she values its role in our world. She also spoke about the threats to higher education, which she says mostly stem from lack of relationships.
Building access to the university through scholarships and endowment, there is no question that the higher education model, the private model, creates financial barriers for students to enter. And so being able to, as a university, ensure that this experience is accessible to students from all backgrounds is going to be important. The Elon experience and my experience in higher education is that the most powerful learning is relationship driven. You know, it's that side by side. And there is no question that the affordability and the ability to scale that continues to rise in our country. And so what I would hate to see in higher education in the United States is, while there is value in online, we all know that people have demands of the workplace and others. So I know that there is a place for online education, but I would hate for our country to move in a direction that in some way reduces the value of a residential experience like you're experiencing here.
That full interview with Dr. Book will be on our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, later this evening.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. According to the American Cancer Society, the survival rate of stage 4 metastatic breast cancer is only 22%. Metastatic means it spread to other parts of the body. Our Brooke Wivag found one local woman defying those odds.
There is no cure for metastatic breast cancer, stage 4 breast cancer, so we are in treatment for life or until it stops. So when you have metastatic cancer, it's not a question of if it will end your life, it's when.
At the 7th annual Little Pink Houses of Hope Gala, a 36-year-old mother of 2 told her story of having just 36 months to live.
That moment, those words, time stopped.
Nearly 6 years and 101 chemotherapy treatments later, Katrina Cook is beating the odds and helped organize this weekend's Dancing with the Stars Gala for Little Pink, an organization that promotes breast cancer recovery. The event pairs well-known locals with professional dancers to perform, and the team that raises the most money wins. Teams dance their hearts out to honor those lost by the disease.
My mom had breast cancer, and so I remember when I learned about that, it would have been very nice to have had something like this to do. And she passed away in July, so it was definitely more meaningful for us to be able to do this.
The dancers were all united under a common cause, but their dance experience varies.
I don't know how to walk and chew gum or skip.
In the end, Team Sandy was the winner, alongside partner and Elon alum Anthony Amatucci, after raising over $70,000.
Oh my gosh.
It was phenomenal.
It was so much fun. I mean, and like, I really couldn't have asked for a better performance day. Like, that was probably the best we've done that dance so far. And yeah, she was awesome.
He was awesome.
Even though the dances were over in 2 minutes, partners became friends over months of rehearsals.
I love you, Chris. I love you so much.
Nearly 1,000 people came to support the cause and donate for those still fighting. Brooke Wivag, Elon Local News.
Little Pink broke a personal record by raising more than $300,000 by the end of the gala. Our Jack Norcross is live on Citron Plaza with the latest. Jack.
All right, thank you, Emily, very much. Well, the sun just came out just a few minutes ago, but that's not what we saw for the most of the day today. It was mostly clouds and overcast. But looking on to the week ahead, let's take a look at your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 80 degrees with a low of 70 degrees, and the thunderstorms are going to start early around 5 a.m. The storms will break in between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. into Wednesday, but then more scattered thunderstorms for Wednesday as well, with a high of 80 and a low of 65. Moving into Thursday, we're going to see those storms clear up a little bit with light showers later into the day and then into the night. Finally, for Friday, we may actually see some sun with the skies clearing up, but expect clouds for most of the day. I'm Jack Norcross, live from Citroen Plaza. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jack.
With the process of searching for a new president coming to an end, we talked to President-elect Book and current President Leo Lambert on transparency and the presidential search process.
You're watching Elon Local News.
With Dr. Connie Book taking the role of president in March, current President Dr. Leo Lambert has a few short months left with his current title. We asked Lambert about his replacement, his expectations of Book's first days on the job, and about the private committee that selected her.
She has, I think, demonstrated this track record of accomplishment and advancement and doing bigger and bolder things throughout her career, and emerged as a very, very attractive candidate in a very attractive candidate pool. People at Elon are going to have to get acquainted with the new Connie, you know, and she's going to have to become reacquainted with an institution that she loves. I think presidential searches are just done differently today than they were 20 years ago when I came to Elon. But I think the general feeling or understanding is today that good candidates will not put themselves forward in a search that is not a closed search. I think they took it to be open as far as they could. And that I think is just the way searches in higher education are being done these days. Not to everyone's satisfaction.
Just like Dr. Lambert, Dr. Book says that secrecy is a necessary part of the process.
I understand the value of a closed search. You know, it allows people to, that you may not have engaged, to be willing to engage, because of course it's a risk. You know, I can't remember how many applications they said today that they had, but for every single one of those applications, if they were working, that was a risk. And so I understand the value of a closed search, and I think they did what I appreciated about, even though it was closed, there was lots of engagement. You know, I met with faculty, I met with students, and there was a lot of engagement, even in a closed search. And to be quite honest, I was very appreciative of everybody's confidentiality, that, you know, that they woke up this morning and most people still, you know, that people didn't know who was the presidency. So it allowed me to continue my work at the Citadel and with the confidence of that community as well. So.
Head of the Presidential Search Committee, Wes Ellenberg, says that although the candidates were kept private, the search committee's final step before selection involved opening up the process to select people tied to the university.
It was faculty, it was staff, it was deans, it was trustees, it was students. So 60 people got a chance to meet the two finalists and provide us feedback. And we used that feedback in order to come to the proposal to the Board of Trustees yesterday that Connie be our next president.
Alamance County celebrated LGBTQIA+ Pride this weekend with its annual Pride Festival. I had the opportunity to attend the event and speak with festival goers. Crowds were in high spirits as Alamance County celebrated its third annual Pride Festival this past Saturday. Adults, kids, and even dogs showed up to support the LGBTQIA community.
I am here because I am extremely gay. Like, whoa.
But it wasn't all rainbows for everyone. There are two pamphlets being passed around here at Alamance Pride Festival. On one hand, you have love, unity, and respect, and on the other, a guidebook to know if you're a sinner. Steve Sykes was passing out these pamphlets.
Well, we just went through the crowd and just passed them out and asked people would they like to have a gospel tract to show them how they know they can go to heaven, and they received them well and said thank you.
But when Reverend Holly Luck Sullivan received her pamphlet, the word thank you did not come to mind.
Instead of engaging and saying, hey, how are you? I'm so-and-so and here's what we're doing, they were just walking up to people, smiling and shoving something at them. And only after they've gotten 3 steps away do you see, oh, I'm a sinner.
Luck Sullivan was not alone. Alamance County resident Sherry Wuckland
was sitting with his friends when he was given a pamphlet. He didn't realize what it meant until after he opened it.
As a form of protest, like I understand the peaceful protest aspect of it, but like forcing it upon somebody, that's not cool.
This act of resistance didn't stop the celebration of love.
I have to put away the anger it stirs in me and turn to what my faith teaches me, which is love, and go back to love and back to love even when it's really hard.
Emily Harrison, Elon Local News.
Now, Perry, this Pride Festival is actually the second time that I've gone to it, and it's an annual event.
Really? So
Yes.
has it changed at all the 2 years you've been there?
The food, I think, really changed a little bit. I definitely ate more this year, that's for sure.
Well, after the break, we talked to some Elon students about their thoughts on the new president-elect.
You're watching Elon Local News.
This year's seniors were just freshmen the last time Dr. Book was on campus. Our Alex Rote talked to students about how they feel about Elon's 9th president.
The new president is a woman. I think that she's going to bring a new perspective to Elon that we haven't had with our past 8 presidents, but I think she's also going to continue leading Elon with the great integrity that the rest of them have.
And it's very exciting.
I'm really sad that we're losing Leo Lambert. He was an incredible president. But I think this is definitely a positive and something that we can use as another way to shape our university as a positive university in the grand scheme of colleges all over the country.
I'm very excited for the new president and that they found somebody sooner rather than later. I'm excited that she's a woman, so that's very progressive. I'm very proud of Elon for going in that direction.
She's a really qualified woman for the job, and I think she's going to bring a lot to this community at a time that there's a lot of changes going on, and we need someone that's really stable and has a lot of experience. I think that she's going to be really good for the Elon community as a whole.
She has some big shoes to fill from Leo after 19 years.
Book will take over the Elon presidency on March 1st. Current President Leo Lambert will remain in the role until then.
Moving on to sports, this weekend Elon football continued their winning streak, defeating CAA rival William & Mary 25-17, making their record 5-1. Elon students and their parents were at Rhodes Stadium cheering on the Phoenix. Our Miles Garrett has that story.
Saturday's win wasn't just fun for fans inside Rhodes Stadium. There was also plenty of fun outside. Tailgating, barbecues,
I'm the grill master, so that's how it goes.
And even an outdoor concert.
But it's not just another Elon game day. Rhodes Stadium is filled to capacity today, and that's for one reason. It's Parents Weekend.
I just wanted to come support Elon and see the game. I heard they're having a great season. They're winning, so we want to help support the team.
It's exciting. There's a lot of palpable energy you can just sense around the campus. I think no matter what size school you are, when football's going well, there's just a different energy around campus.
Parents and some of the football players are noticing the new energy surrounding the team.
Teammates love it. We love it as parents to see people come out because you want people to be excited about what they're doing. And we can use more people to come out. So you're sitting at home, come out, see a great football team play.
Quarterback Davis Cheek was also excited to see his parents from the field.
That's the group that's been around you for entire life, so it's always good to have them around. And everybody else's parents here, it's a bigger crowd, better we play, I feel like.
With an Elon win, the 5-1 Phoenix continue its hot streak as fans, old and young, are all jumping on the bandwagon.
From Rhodes Stadium, I'm Miles Garrett. Elon Local News.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Have a great night, Elon.